Hey everybody, welcome back to the Bible Tidbits YouTube channel. I'm glad you joined us today, and it's time for another check-in in my journey to learning biblical Hebrew. We're going from nothing, which is where we started out episode 1, to proficient is kind of the goal here, to be proficient in the Hebrew language. And I know that can take years to be like truly proficient in a language. Maybe we're not going that far, but we're going to where I feel confident in the language and reading it and understanding it. It's been tough lately. We've been getting into the verbs, and that has been interesting to see how the verbs change, why they change, what parts of them change. And that's been something trying to memorize those rules so I can understand what is going on in the language. So as I'm reading it, like this word looks different. Okay, well, it's this word, it changed here, and this is why. So that's kind of what we've been digging into lately. Right before that, I guess since the last video, we've looked at number and gender of nouns. And so that's been interesting. Some of them we just memorized, two words, like sus is horse, but then susa is a female horse, a mare. So we got sus, susa, but then like we kind of start seeing there's an ending. So you got the the ot, endings, and they change the gender and the number of them, and start to see those things appear. And so, really starting to kind of get to read the language a little bit, dive into vocabulary. I'm still adding on the stacks, getting pretty tall, but I don't have like a super comprehensive vocab list. I think I looked ahead, and I think maybe even later today, the work I'm going to do, I'm actually going to get into verses. So thus far, we haven't been in verses. We've been in like short sentences that the professor made up using the language or the vocab that we know. But I think we're actually getting enough to where he's found some verses from the Bible that we'll get to get into. So I'm super excited about that. But I have been started reading a little bit. Yesterday, I got on a Zoom meeting with a buddy in the class, and we spent time trying to read Psalm 1. There's an extra credit project for my class of memorizing Psalm 1 in Hebrew. Um, it's difficult just to memorize or just to read, much less memorize, but I'm going to work and try to memorize it. But as I go, it was very helpful to work with him and in a struggle spot, get to see where I was struggling. And we just covered the first 3 verses. We really kind of honed in on some spots. And that was super beneficial to me, just to be able to, with somebody else, talk it through, feel it out, and be in an actual Hebrew Bible. We had our Hebrew Bibles open, or our Hebrew Old Testaments, I guess you'd say, open, and just getting to dig into that. And it made me super excited to continue to learn the language. I've still been printing out my flashcards. Recently, with the verbs, we've had some ones that could mean different things based upon the context. The professor just recommends like learn this basic form. This is what will happen the most often, and just know it could change. And so that's what I've been doing. My flashcards just have the one definition or gloss of that word, and then I'm just kind of knowing, hey, these words could be different. Their range of meaning is far more than just what I'm memorizing here. And that's all context dependent. And so we'll have to get them into the context to actually start to learn those things. But just the depths that we're starting to see and starting to grasp and wrap the hand around or wrap my head around these things. If you remember, if you've been here from episode 1, I was like, this is crazy. Like, I can't even say the words. In Greek, I learned the alphabet in 2 days. And by Thursday of week 1, I was reading the Greek Bible, the Greek New Testament. I had no clue what I was saying, but I was reading it. Well, Hebrew, I've spent weeks just trying to get to the point of reading it. And I'm still not great at reading it. I'm still trying to learn how to read it, but I'm starting to get there now. And the other things are starting to come quicker. I can already tell the grammar seems to be easier just from the little translation practice we've done and the readings that I've done where I picked up some words and starting to see that and doing the gender and the number. I feel like the grammar is going to be much easier than Greek for me. So that's kind of nice, but the reading is, I feel like, the hardest barrier in the Hebrew. And my reading is rough. Whenever I said we got through 3 verses of Psalm 1 yesterday, I am that was like a 30 minutes worth of digging in and trying to figure out how do we pronounce this word, flipping through our textbooks to look at these rules. And the hope is just to get to the point where they're just rules in our head and we just get them as we go, but not there yet. Super excited about that though, and we're going to start getting together weekly. I'm trying to start reading daily, so every day I'm going to try to read a couple verses in my Hebrew Bible to get a better grasp of the language, just to feel it out more, work on the pronunciation, and then we're going to get together once a week and just do it together so we can kind of give each other feedback and just to hear somebody else do it. And then we have our Zoom meetings in class too that we can go and ask our questions in. And so I'm starting to feel the language a little bit. I'm starting to get there. Definitely nowhere close to proficiency yet, but I'm starting to say, okay, here we are. We're rolling. I mean, I felt like I was just hitting brick wall after brick wall for the first probably 2 3 weeks. I'm like, I feel like I'm learning the content we're covering, but I feel like I've gotten nowhere. And now I'm starting to feel like I'm getting somewhere with it. And that's the exciting thing. So there's not a ton to update you on. I'm still struggling through a few things, trying to really dig in and understand them and grasp them more. But I feel like I'm kind of breaking through some of those barriers that were a struggle before and really starting to grasp it. So hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any future updates on my journey to learn biblical Hebrew. We come every other week. I'm doing a check in, so that should hopefully be 2 weeks worth of content in the class. This week it wasn't 2 weeks because I've had a busy last couple weeks, and luckily I worked ahead in the class. And so I'm not behind in class, but I did lose one of my weeks being ahead. But yeah, hit the subscribe button so you can see these, follow along my journey, maybe be encouraged to take a learning journey of your own. So I thank you all for joining me, and I hope to see y'all next time.